I think we saw him last week. Fantastic individually, and well, there is that aggression, and there is kaajak.
Bomb buddy out.
Heard a lot about the sheriffs in the pistol rounds. We saw a lot. If you were watching the last series, Benji picking it back up with
Sheriff. He looks like the ultimate pistol raid boss. He's got a full belt of utility and a sheriff to play with. And as we know, those sensors can be a little bit rough, at least when it comes down to holding on to the lurks. But when it comes to the post plant, they are fantastic. He's going to be able to buy an awful lot of time wherever he decides to put them into position. They're going aggressive though. Elite, this is a nasty spot. They want to try and get ahead of things. The Thorns will also be used to pull off a little bit of extra delay. And now into a 2v2, they're going to look for the plant.
Now the damage done to Elite, massive, but he has that utility to play with and play off of. Immediately you can see that although the Thorns have been destroyed, the sensor's now active for that run out of the spawn. They don't know about kaajak. Making his way in through hookah, but that reposition down to long. This
Chronicle had to go get another pistol.
That ammo's running low. Now this is where the real problem is brewing for the side of Fnatic. Time starts to tick away. They've just now broken through that wall as it fades, and Sheriff in the hands of saadhak. As you said, it can do a lot in these rounds already, dropping kaajak, who was desperately low, but Chronicle still on full health. He's putting the time on his side with a half defuse, but dropped down behind him. saadhak with the execution gives a round to KC.
Formation as they'd like, but back to B they go. Boaster up close. He has got to be careful. I think he's lost a lot more control into hookah than maybe he believes with the Viper screen up. They are going to be slow to a hold. 15 seconds left now as the push will eventually come through. A decent trade to start. Avez with one, but Boaster at the back of the site has done well. He's made sure this isn't going to go any further. The plant now has to be stuck, and although Avez has hit the shot, it doesn't matter anymore. The round has already been lost, the time has already ticked, and while for SUYGETSU, I don't think he wants to save, and will eventually go down.
KC, a stumble, but in a round where they didn't have a lot to work with. Now, they've got their weapons in hand, and a much more direct approach. Again, taking advantage of that space that they've seen to be lighter for the defense. Fnatic will give up all control of plant found by KC early.
Always liked that A site executes. They're using the Thorns for the back site. We've also seen that deadlock wall used in similar fashion. Straight away though, a couple of ultimates used just to try and get back in. The Nightfall in combination with the Cosmic Divide. Marteen did well to hold the line initially, but crashies has just swept them. 3 in a matter of seconds. And now one more comes up for Chronicle, but it's going to be left on to just the pistol. It didn't matter though. The shorty is enough for Alfajer. You can
They're good at almost everything.
They're good at the things you need to be.
Yeah.
You don't need to win a load of like low buy rounds if you're always on a... What? What did he just get shot through? That must have been the back corner of the mid-tube. That's disgusting from saadhak.
Keep it up for the replay, Andy. Thank you very much.
They found another one as well. This is starting to get a little bit shaky. Maybe we need their stats versus low buys because those are starting to look a little bit better. As of right now, Chronicle there to save them at least and bring it back into a 2v2, but he does have to be careful.
Well, he's throwing caution to the wind, Tom. He went for that fight through his own snake bite, made himself vulnerable, and still the only damage dealt is at his own hand. That's giving them a chance here. 2 versus 2. Avez yet to retrieve a weapon as well on the site. Trying to play off that sonic sensor that's now destroyed. Jump out.
Here.
Delayed a moment by the net thrown in. saadhak's buying them a lot of time. Pressure's now on. They need to get out of here. And as they do, saadhak is ready and waiting. They've spotted him to reveal. As he breaks, it gives away his position. And Avez left with a pistol in hand, but time on his side. He wants to survive, but crashies from up top takes him out, but not quite in time. The clock, Fnatic's enemy. We've seen this before.
Not Avez.
No. Commits it all the way. And he did send Chronicle wrapping around. Chronicle now forced to reposition towards Lamps. Gonna have an opportunity in a second. Tries to play through. Coming that tower utility, but the salvos won't stop him. SUYGETSU's down. In goes the Nightfall. Elite tagged up. They know exactly where he is, but running through that wall presents a pretty big risk. It's not just Elite, but you can see Avez on the mini-map is holding that as well. They didn't need to worry about spawn with the wall up, but now it's wide open. That spam desperately close. won't quite claim the kill. And the advantage sitting with KC as time continues to tick. That flank up from Alpha grabs someone, but he's put to bed immediately. And then Elite chimes in with more. kaajak being good, but this might be a little too much. One pick gives him the showstopper. But the time here, the biggest issue, clearing out 2 players will be tough! He gets them though!
Always been good for the headshots. kaajak well placed in position, has the showstopper as well. Doesn't manage to actually clear out anybody else, and just running through the nade. He done so much damage as they look to try and cross into the site, but neither of them are kills.
saadhak survived that showstopper with a sliver of HP, and that gives him enough room to put the net up to get this wall as well. Him surviving that engagement is massive, and with the sensors added into this, becomes a very difficult retake. Sure, there's damage done, but Avez, one of the players that's low now, has an AWP in hand, so he'll be able to trade with you shot for shot and still come out on top. This might just be a save for Fnatic. An immediate response from KC. The sensor destroyed, but the player's now ready to swing, and in goes another net! crashies! Again! The player to try to bail them out. He comes damn close, but Avez still drawing breath. 2 players to work off that spike, and the AWP trained in on the angle will claim the round for KC.
Though, Mitch, they're going back towards the judge.
They'll see it though. Now they know.
Yeah,
They've seen that weapon in his hands. He bails out. Boaster giving up the space. Where will he find to play with this? In fact, he's in the open. marteen doesn't even need a flash. He knows that that's not a fight the Boaster can take, but time is low. Dropping the spike here. Could have given them the edge that they need. That wingman is vulnerable. 6 seconds. The plant needs to be found. They've got to go for it now, and there's no time! They would have to chase crashies down, and he is out of here! A Red Bull clutch! Steel Garden? Yes.
Well, he's gone from one shotgun to another. Now it's shorties.
2 shorties.
And neither of them have connected. Great work from Elite. He's going to remove the danger, but there is still other dangers to be had. Have to clear out kaajak, and this time they will plant, thankfully. A 1 versus 3 for Chronicle. There's nobody else you'd want, but Elite has done the damage in this round. 3 kills to give KC. You've then got the Arc-Rose flash as well. Like, they're making a play through middle. Feels like a death sentence. Well, they are eventually going to try and make that walk.
There's a flash from Avez as well.
30 seconds left.
As Vice doesn't find them a pick. In fact, Elite is the one put in the ground. Nice shot by Avez, though. Evens up the numbers, but he's trapped. Has to fight his way out of here as his teammates rally to his side. The push out of spawn, spotted by Boaster. They've got all the info now. Taking these players down will be a different story. KC playing together, SUYGETSU watching their back, and it's Boaster to fall. Numbers starting to fade on that attacking side, and no one to deny this defuse. They need to go. They need to go now. It's being diffused, and Avez! He pulls off the spike, looks for the fight, but kaajak's there to greet him. And I think that's what Alfajer is doing now. He's going through to clear that out. Again, put those question marks up.
Ready.
Spike down, B.
Does well, drops the spike. Chronicle is just picked off
30 seconds left.
He was one of the only players that didn't have a gun, but it doesn't seem to matter. That's the A site defense diminished. It was a heavy utility stack up on B and a heavy personnel stack up on A. But it didn't seem to matter. Oh, this round is already looking done. Avez down to just 6 HP. They're even going to throw in the showstopper just for good measure.
That's the rights there.
One side playing very passive, on the other side starting to get aggressive. SUYGETSU will win the initial fight. crashies had found one on the other side of the map. They managed to bait out the wall already, but there is a plethora of utility still sat on the other side. The problem thus far is that Elite has gone down before most of it gets activated, but this time the crossfire is solid. They have missed out on one player though. Maybe not the player you want to miss out on, but SUYGETSU is about to come under some serious pressure. 3 players already setting up, a couple of flashes. One of them didn't quite connect though. I don't think they expected him to be that close, and that definitely played in his favor. He could shoot the first, and while crashies is not one to just sit still and wait, he has taken space and opened up B.
Yeah, as soon as Astra pops that stun on your run back, you know that you're in trouble. Okay. Someone was there to hear him, but Alpha trying to send that lurk up through A, despite it being a 4v2. He'll lose his life. Down and out of this round for the attempted flank, and KC with an opportunity if they can find this pick, but the trade comes in so quickly from crashies. Now a plant will be secured. Cosmic Divide to work off of, unlikely to be used, but they know where that player's coming from. They've still got stars to play with and a Nightfall.
This is the tough thing, yeah. Nightfall, full belt of utility for crashies. Stars can be put into play. Like, this is such a difficult post plant to try and get in from. SUYGETSU has managed to bypass a lot, but then he's caught by the seas, left on just 1 HP as he takes that final fight, and crashies.
That looked like it was going to take Alpha very low, but he's barely got a lick of damage on him, and Chronicle hiding in this corner. They're not going to clear it. They're already looking the other way. This could be it.
My ultimate is
The nail in the coffin, the last
Good trade.
perhaps, but a nice trade by Avez, even with the pistol.
Problem is, every time a piece of ground is gained, a piece of ground has been lost. Avez is well aware of it, though. Fantastic read from him. Those 2 kills could be the turning point of the round, and information also being found, though, but this time he is caught.
30 seconds
Marteen
left.
knows where Alfajer is. Hasn't quite spotted Boaster. In fact, Boaster maybe now being a little bit more hesitant. 20 seconds left on the clock, and both players
Face your fear!
looking to try and push forward, try and play ahead. But the problem is,
One enemy
that is where
remaining.
that utility comes in. Alfajer's caught 1, but
10
10 seconds
seconds
left. They have to make a move into the site. Boaster is going to be left alone, and while didn't see Marteen run around the corner, they'll keep themselves alive a little longer.
Fnatic that scares me. It's heating up round by round. Alpha now has his to work with. If they get on site, the pit will be there to play off of. If Chronicle doesn't go down early, and already pressure put onto saadhak, he has to run right into the waiting arms of Fnatic. An opening pick, and the best that the remaining players can do is delay. The mosh pit will buy them some time, but Avez will be under pressure, and kaajak will not let off that flank watch by Chronicle again, finding one, and this time he'll double up, seemingly closing out the map. A series still to be played for, but unless Marteen has a 1v5 up his sleeve, with 5
Well, he's
HP
got
left
5.
after the first, this one
world.
will have to be a reverse sweep for KC.
Yeah, we could just run the title, go to the break. There's absolutely no chance he's going to be winning that one. Fnatic, it's a 13-7. It felt at times that KC had opportunities.
Avez can do. He's got a challenge on his hands. Raze on the other side, snuck behind the box, found one already, puts Avez to bed. And that's a solid opening, a return. As Chronicle had already fallen towards that A site, but now Fnatic hold the advantage. A mistake, a misstep from KC, another as they walk back into that angle. kaajak still ready and waiting. The need to delay, but it only sends them back towards crashies. Pick your poison for saadhak. Sheriff in hand, he'll find the first, but the flank coming in quickly, and it will close in favor of Fnatic.
In the entirety of Toronto, and a very informed wall. So I'm not really worried. And then you look at the other side, and there are similar losses.
Oh.
Avez has done well here.
Yeah, maybe not the round I would have hyped him up in, but he's already found a double. That classic drawing blood and thirsty for more. Low HP on these players that he's pushing onto. Chronicle and Boaster looking vulnerable, and they're going to continue the push here with Marteen finding another. This round has spiraled in favor of Karmine Corp as Alfajer is now the last man standing. A big play needed, a Marshall in his hands, and look, if he can find the shots onto these players, everybody will go down with just one to the body. That could be easier said than done.
Planted.
Got a firing squad waiting for him. With the post plant in play, time is on KC's side.
Have to be another blip. Shot not connected, and eventually Avez is there too. Yes.
Nice opportunity for Chronicle. Stinger's already got one. Numbers go back in favor of Fnatic for just a moment, but that's great work from Chronicle.
10 seconds
He delays them. The spike will ultimately go down. Boaster trying his best to deny the Bucky. Now heard ringing out, and that will quell any ambitions of pushing towards Waterfall. But my eyes on kaajak. Chronicle's now given him an opportunity. If a kill is found and the showstopper comes online, they can commit it. And they can fire their way in here with the paranoia, with the nade that's now thrown through. That's doing damage. There's the shot and a follow-up. Showstopper online. Fire through for SUYGETSU. And another triple early on for kaajak. Fnatic are back on the board.
Avez has been slowed. Actually, crashies has already opened up. This is looking damning already.
The paranoia went through, but they can't get around the corner in time to deal with it. They know Alpha's close. But kaajak slips through and grabs himself one. Elite, though, punishing him with info on the player towards the door. He's ready for the fight, but he doesn't win it to start with, giving Alpha a chance, but then putting him to bed, leaving it all on Boaster. Whatever was said in that timeout, it almost worked. They still need to deal with the IGL himself. 5 HP, one shot to take him down. That's all that's needed. saadhak has a rifle to work with. Plenty of bullets can come Boaster's way. Only one to delete him with the plant coming through. saadhak seems to have the advantage.
Planted.
Maybe Boaster had the assumption that he'd go all the way to the other side of the map. Have a safer opportunity for a plant, but saadhak instead is just looking where Boaster could have gone. The problem is Boaster needs the element of surprise. He's got 5 HP. Anything else would be a massive risk. He's going to just try and at least get this one to half, but I can't believe he's going to try and stick it all the way, trying to bait saadhak in for the fight, and it's a lot closer than you might have thought, but saadhak will get the job done.
Fnatic defense has crumbled. The plan could be found, but they're conscious that there could be a play, and it's a good thing too. In goes the C's, in goes the snake bite, and out go KC. The B site, their new target. Players are here, but caught behind a smoke. kaajak catches marteen, trailing towards that C site. Plant not yet found with 25 seconds on the clock. It will be stuck down safely, but in comes the showstopper now, and it doesn't quite get the kill. Chronicle ahead of it. Elite in for another. And we're back to even footing. saadhak spots them out, backs off, and allows Elite to walk away with the triple. KC climbing further into the lead.
Quieter game from some of the performers we've come to expect a lot from. Not that man though. kaajak has been on fire throughout. 14 and 6 with only 2 rounds on the board. And well, Boaster has got his trusty Odin. He doesn't trust it enough in that fight.
You know what? I can certainly understand it. With a clean retreat back towards tree, he will be spamming away, but just about misses the boat. Double peek coming in towards this C site from both teams, but it's marteen who fails to get anything on the board. He wants the gate crash back site, but has to outweight the nano. And now in it goes. They haven't spotted
30 seconds
it.
left.
A well-placed flash and a well-timed TP could change the tide of this round in their favor, but they've gone in dry. Chronicle doesn't land the shots, but Alpha's there to pick up the slack. Finds another. It's actually kaajak to land that. With Alpha here, still defending the site with 12 seconds left. The clock is not even their biggest enemy. The spike down in the open, and it's the wall bang from Boaster to close it into an aggressive play. Moving towards this A site. Boaster gets out. Avoided all that utility thrown at him, falls right back in, puts the paranoia into play. That's going to delay that little bit further. He's got teammates, but they're outside the smoke. He can be pushed on here. They don't have utility to clear him. Instead, they're going to just look for the fights, doubling up, swinging through, jumping and headshotting him. That's a great fight for saadhak to take. Well, a great one for him to win, more so.
Seems like a odd decision though, like Boaster re-aggressing when they have that lockdown. And now the fight's just stringing back and forth, but still ending up in the favor of KC. They're controlling this one.
See is where the push is coming down. SUYGETSU can't really afford to play through this pit. They have no idea where Chronicle is, and fighting inside of it is almost a sure loss. If he goes down here, they have to go B. But now they've got options. Door, though, is going to lock them out, so another swing needed. 22 seconds. Pit still up. Spike on its way. Chronicle far back enough that he won't be able to fight this, but he steps forward and sprays down Avez. Now crashies takes SUYGETSU, and Elite is all alone. The spike needs to be planted. He has to stick this.
Chance.
They've got the bodies to throw at this. The round is now done. All crashies has to do is round this corner, live or die. The round is for Fnatic.
Elite will have the majority to do here.
Well. Oh,
No!
Marteen
No.
doesn't. That's disastrous. I thought it was going to be another messy fight in favor of Chronicle. Luckily, he is taken down, but it's a 2v2. It's winnable yet again.
One enemy remaining.
Damage on both of those players, though, and KC will close it out. Happens, he always shows up. Did he show up in this round? There's so much up against them. Alfajer, there it is, an opening duel for Alpha. He's back on the horse. Chronicle's picked up one. Wall's going to go down soon. That gives Alpha the chance.
Not again.
On that side swipe, they keep it up a little longer. The reset as those players fall back. A nice shot. Good damage dealt by Alpha.
Not as much as he'd like.
Definitely not, but a 4v3 nonetheless.
Oh, we can't do this in both halves, can we? This horrific back and forth, but it seems like we're on for it again. Alfie has now found himself a Guardian, as if things weren't bad enough, but SUYGETSU is at least going to even up the scoreline. Alpha puts another in the dirt, and that time has been ticking for a while. He's in a good position, and realistically, Boaster, all he has to do is run in and try and deny this. There goes one. saadhak, I feel like he almost has to try and stick it. It's going to be incredibly late while Boaster realizes, actually, I can just run in and die. It is going to go back and forth. It is.
I'm spitting today. A few shots fired out towards Rubble. Players spotted, but the repeat necessary to contain that info. Marteen flashes through, tries to open the door for saadhak. He ends up falling. Avez trading, though, it's kept even. They took out kaajak, the man with the showstopper.
They stay in front of this. There's only...
Well, no, they gotta fall back.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking maybe someone would try and get aggressive in front of it, but instead they will fall back, going into the plant with 5 seconds on it. No denial, but they have stopped the aggression. And in the meantime, they have picked off everyone else. Alfajer's new crosshair is going to be put to the test. Going to try and spam through the smoke. Bullets now becoming an issue as he has to reload, but they're still not on this. They're hoping they can kill him off. Maybe once that smoke fades. They've still got time to play with. They're not quite covering, though. Avez has let go once again. This time they're covering, while SUYGETSU will have the shot.
Little jiggle peek coming through. Wow, that's more than a jiggle peek from Elite. Paranoia being held by SUYGETSU. They're looking to fight for this round after the initial battle. In goes the showstopper, and it's a double for them. SUYGETSU TPing across with his Paranoia and getting out for free. A 4v2 setup, and this was the danger. We talked about 5 ultimates for KC. Well, they still have 4, and the advantage is clearly in their favor. 50 seconds on the clock, and Fnatic with no ground. Very little chance to find a round that they very much need. KC looking close to a map 3 secured.
Marteen did have a gate crash on A, but that has now faded. He won't have the quick rotation. SUYGETSU will. He is a little bit low on HP, so has to be careful, but has the vision above, and the kill on Chronicle is free. It was a showstopper that kicked it off, but it seems like it's SUYGETSU might be there to finish. Alfajer left in a 1 versus 4 scenario, and well, even getting the spike down might be a little bit difficult. You could see that KC were just waiting for him to even start before they approach, before they look to surround him, tag even further down. Well, he's not even going to get the one. It is comfortable.
But look at the ults on the other side. saadhak still has that Nightfall to work with, and that is going to buy them a lot of information. They know where these players are. They can try to hunt down Chronicle. The Seas nade goes through, but he barely avoids a Paranoia in. Perfectly timed. crashies is there for another. A big round from this man. He's got the weaker weapon of the Guardian in his hand, but that may just give them the win. Chronicle's low, vulnerable to a spam. Doing so is risky, and that's exactly the execute on the back of it.
Taking some control back towards Waterfall.
30 seconds
Marteen
left.
does have the dimensional drift. It seems like Alva's trying to get ahead of it, and that's exactly what he's done. saadhak, though, still managed to trade things back even. Keep things close. Marteen is slowly figuring out the picture of where these players are sitting. I don't think he spotted crashies up above. Oh, this is a big mistake. Not spotting him there, and even from the top row. Sniper again. It's a read into the shields of the opponent. They're looking to get themselves into that post plant. kaajak has just been wrecked. These smoke shots from Elite have been sublime. They are still going to lose that space. don't have the ults of their own, but they are going to get back in maybe a little bit quicker than Fnatic would like. They've immediately used themselves the Nightfall, and I think that has connected at least a bit.
Heard the Outlaw now.
Careful.
They know what they're up against, the big danger lurking. Boaster not going for the reload, eventually does. Okay, back to 2 shots. Smoke off for spawn as well. Got to run through that. Boaster takes advantage of it to swing into Waterfall. He's found one. The second shot doesn't land, but crashies again is there to pick up the pieces.
Standing.
A 1v1, a single shot for Fnatic, and they will stay alive here.
Starting to let these rounds slip away. Boaster under serious pressure, and so is kaajak. This early start has been perfection. And while crashies have been a hero a couple of times, but this would have to be the best of them. Left into a 1v4.
The leak close by, they might even be able to take the box of Waterfall. This becomes an impossible situation for crashies. He goes for the open plant at least, but it's the cam and the traps keeping all of that info in their favor. He knows there's a cam here, wants to deal with it, but it's not active. That's late round info. There it is. They've just cleared it with the camera. They know that he should be close after breaking that trip, and they swing together. Perfectly played.
Next up close. I think that, yeah, I was going to say that gate crash isn't going to last for long, but he's got a second to be put into position, but he is not the point of call. The cam hasn't got the information. They've actually dodged it. There we go. That's the information they needed. SUYGETSU immediately looks to join back up with his teammate. The paranoia is incredibly well placed, and so is the snakebite. It's forced SUYGETSU out. And actually, they're just going to play this as a retake. I don't mind that. A dangerous fight that could have been taken. And whoa, speaking of dangerous fights, they've gone swinging.
Shadows traveling.
They wanted to try and get ahead of everything that KC had in the retake. Instead, they've given them a huge advantage.
Nothing to fall back on. kaajak was 1 kill away from the showstopper with him dead and gone. It's online, but it might not be able to be used before this map is over. Boaster with a stinger up close. He needs so much value from this play. They'll flash in the smoke. They'll come out of it. The stinger does damage, but not enough. A 1v3 for Chronicle. One of the greatest players to grace the scene. And this could be the play to keep them alive. 17 health. And the time running low, but KC get there in the end. 13 to 10. 1-1. And the final map of Icebox is where this series will be decided.
I thought he had it for a second. I genuinely believed that he was going to be there to take that one over the line. I said, you can figure out who you believe.
Who you want?
Is it 2 morons or 3 No, I'm kidding. Alfajer is already going to be starting off with a bang. A man who had a bit of a rough previous map. This is a map that made him a legend. SUYGETSU already taking a lot of damage as well. Getting a bit tougher for him to survive.
Yeah, good target isolation by Fnatic. They send SUYGETSU's alone, isolate him, drop him, and Alpha already off to a great start. His first blood on the board, and there's no blood drawn for K. But in this series, it has been much harder to claim than you might imagine.
Taking an aggressive position. One of these teams is playing a quote-unquote bonus round. I don't blame you for not knowing which one it is. It is a very good buy coming in for Fnatic.
Spike down B.
They managed to keep everything from the prior round and then invest back into this one. And they are just slaughtering KC. It's looked like the bear was poked and now the bear is mad. As only 2 are standing. Marteen's done well though. He's at least picked off Boaster. That gets rid of the orb. I mean, it's a little bit tougher for Fnatic on the entry back.
Marteen up top though. If they can find him, this round's already in the bag. They've spotted him now with the jump peek, and he'll bail down from that position. Smoke goes up. It's going to block them out towards the spawn. Shot whizzes past his head, but he survives to tell the tale. Paranoia, maybe even a little bit early. Expecting this retake to be much faster than it is, and the peek's out. They get nothing. A bonus round for Fnatic. They come in with kaajak. He's already in their spawn, the turret, much more passive, but with a lockdown in play, they can send these players running back. Might be used before the plant even goes down to open that door for kaajak. Cloudburst activated. I'm not sure if they were close enough to hear that, but the turret actually fired off. Elite's looking the right way. He finds himself the pick. Plant comes in, and lockdown is a response. That's full site control for Fnatic, but they might just look to pick them off as they fall back a little early as Alfajer. SUYGETSU finds it. Advantages piling up in favor of KC as a 5v3 in play, but off the back of the lockdown, they're going to attempt to at least get it to half. The problem is that cost the life of crashies. Up goes the wall though. Chronicle in with a chance.
Oh, no.
They've got to be quick. They've got to run it down, and it looks like he'll get it. A Red Bull clutch for Chronicle.
Themselves their 5th round. It's a heartbreaker for KC. Well, we can talk about damage all we like, but when it's 5-0, they're not going to care. And well, a headshot machine of SUYGETSU has just whiffed heavily, unfortunately.
This is a big blow dealt. 4 players alive and you lose the round. That's a gooding loss. Hunter's Fury put through as soon as the drone is. That player stood still and he'll be caught by the second pulse. kaajak dishes in a couple of bullets.
Not overextending, not over
30
peaking.
seconds left.
Oh, Chronicle is even going to get the information on both players. 25 seconds now. And it might even just come down to trying to save the weaponry. They've got credits to play with. That's well played from Marteen. He's done well, knows that crashies is on the corner, but he's kind of having to try and do everything. And now, as they attempt to plant, that's where the push comes in from the remaining players. Their only goal is to try and deny, but somehow this comes close, but the time could be an issue again. No, they got it! Elite swung just in time.
Need to be quick. They've got to rush back into this site. So many tight corners to clear. A player stood down below in the form of Avez, and he's got a free pick for his patience. But now he's the last one standing. So low, he will be dropped, but the time is too far gone.
Clutch.
In fact, crashies won't even make it.
He's just sat in there with a shorty. Like, there's no actual plans to fight.
Here.
He's assuming that they're going to try and clear him out of this position. They're just going to plant on the edge of this. It will mean that they have a limited amount of control, but will still mean that Fnatic have to try and force their way back into this one. It's not like there's a lockdown online. Unsure he's still one away. And now they're even going to lose their utility as well.
Nothing to get them back in. The Hunter's Fury, maybe you think they'll play more passive. saadhak, in their eyes, could be the point of contact, but a sneaky play late by Avez. This could be huge. Fnatic have so much space to fight back into this. They're gonna pop the res. They're committing. Down goes the ult, and Boaster finds Avez. The snake in the grass dealt with a 2 versus 4. As a result, and with a lead down, all hope sits with saadhak. He's been walled off, and kaajak hits the shot from the top rope.
Silly is made to. They're not wanting to overface. Now, SUYGETSU has been wrecked almost every single round. And, well, the slow in combination with Boaster swinging. But again, there's a response. It seems to be the way a lot of these rounds go down. Is Fnatic get an advantage, and then there's a fight back in from KC. The guard of Avez is doing his job perfectly, but crashies is still standing. He faces up against SUYGETSU. 1 and 8 right now, but all he needs is 1 to double up his kills. Peter just play down the clock. Seemed like anything has been able to stop them since they lost those initial 5 rounds. While Boaster is fighting versus the full force of Karmine Corp. Forcing them back, a Viper's Pit used for post. Marteen just repositioning back. With the turret still online, they don't even have to worry about their flank. Everybody is coming in from the front.
Oh, Avez, just as the smoke blooms. I don't know if he caught a glimpse of Chronicle. That was just a well-timed spam, but either way, this is his round. He's dominated every fight. A triple on the board already, and he keeps on going. 4 in his favor. 1 man left to find, and it's the shorty to do it. And
maybe your comedic comparison of saadhak will be able to do the work. The wall is going to gift them that plant. Well, the retake is definitely not going to be easy, especially with Alfajer back in position, but he's dealt with.
Time ticking for KC to get back in. They don't have a wall of their own to play behind, but they have got a lead. Marching forward and eliminating kaajak. crashies primed and ready with 2 shock darts. The first lands for huge damage. Second fired through, but they've avoided that one and sent a
My
lead forward
God.
to claim more scalp. This man,
Oh!
a Terminator in this round, and he's claimed more! A defuse as a result. Boaster wraps his way around. He's looking for him. Can't quite find him. There it is, but Marteen's looking the right way. Unlucky for Boaster. KC will read into that gap that was exploited.
Yeah, now it kind of, well, the play feels like it's gone. Plant, undeniable. Value of the Sage Wall will get you into this position. It's whether anybody on the Fnatic side comes out alive. You can see they're trying to play close to it, try and use the benefit of these pistols, but KC have been diligent in just destroying it! What has just happened?
Enemy
Kaajak with a
remaining.
quick double, and it's going to somehow happen again, it seems. SUYGETSU is all that stands in their way. As disaster looms on the horizon, he's managed to get into half. He's found another, trying to bait Kaajak into the fight, but it's another triple off the Sheriff. Put a pistol in this man's hands, and he... Initial delay of SUYGETSU was enough. They've gone back towards this A site where the majority of the stack currently sits. Avez is going to be that point of contact, but it's Marteen to start. Here he goes again.
Strike down A.
I said I didn't think there was going to be any end to the madness just yet, and of course, why not? An in-zone flawless. Gonna go back, it would have to be now, and
30
I think
seconds
KC have realized that. Starting to gamble extra players over to this side of the map. SUYGETSU has been forced into the open, and well, Chronicle has now come alive. The res utilized to give them that advantage, and the wall should allow the plant, but it's being spammed. A Hunter's Fury being utilized by crashies should keep them safe, and while Chronicle, he's come alive. The counter curse has ensued,
Spike planted.
and the team with the weaker buy, the team that came in with the stinger, looks set to win this round.
Pitiful.
Well, Marteen might have something to say about that, but a 1v5, that is a tall task to step up to. Big swing by Fnatic to close that out.
Wasn't just the stage, but if you have enough points to be in the top two other than them, that's absolutely fine. Kaajak, oh, that is a cheeky little spot. I think you know they're there, Avez. The flash is solid, the shot's not quite, but he gets there in the end.
Can't get out. Completely trapped. Eventually, support comes through, but not in time. Those players fall, attempting to stand tall by his side. crashies with a double. And that could be what sends Fnatic to 12. The reveal onto a lead as well, damning as the wall bangs come through. Chronicle's got him down to a sliver of health. Although he steps out of the slow, he doesn't stand for long. Marteen, the last one standing for KC. A 1v4 that he doesn't even want to attempt. Fnatic, that meant nothing. On their defensive side, they had two-man advantages that were stolen out from right under their nose. The start, well, it seems to be the same as what we saw in half number one, but SUYGETSU still drawing breath. Hunter's Fury put through for the support. One shot to Kaajak is all that they need. The updraft saves him, but Alpha takes a tag. 2 players low. The spike down in the open. And no means to retrieve it. A lockdown if they want to commit it for the space, but maybe better saved for another round. They'll fight their way through middle. crashies attempts to distract him, grabs an orb to future-proof this ult economy. They have sent Alfajer on the runabout. He is now behind them. They might have heard those steps. Elite's suspicious, but he'll lose his life anyways. We're back to a 3v3.
Winning seems slim, but bear in mind the economy from Fnatic is good. Even just dropping some weapons here could force
10 seconds
a few
left.
problems in the next. You can see they're just going to chuck the operator away as they attempt to try and do a little bit of extra damage. Don't really have a whole lot to lose, but it's SUYGETSU who's there to pick up the pieces.
Force suppressed.
I have to assume that's the case. The attempt from saadhak is to buy time, but they have managed to bypass the util, and well, if it is going to be a pit, it will have to be a counter. I don't think that's worked. That's an interesting pit from Boaster. I don't think that was the plan, but maybe it won't matter. A ruse, some confusion, but instead the space has already been taken back. A mistake, but one that, if they win the round, they won't mind too much. A res available, but difficult to be used. saadhak already low. A missed shot, but kaajak there for the trade, but they are losing numbers as they go. And already a player taps onto the spike. It's left all onto one, and he can't hold
them out of that B site. They're sent scurrying. Nice fight on mid though. Using kaajak as a distraction. Alfajer picks up one, but Avez onto Chronicle. Hunter's Fury clearing backside space. Marteen will be dealt with. Hit will be dropped. Boaster will fall though, as Avez was the snake in the grass, striking from the fallen pit. And kaajak stands as the last man on Fnatic. No time. He cannot possibly get this spike and plant it. He can't get the kills with Avez retreating. Try as he might, this round is already lost. All there is to do is save this weapon from to work with.
Guardian. See you later, SUYGETSU. Blink and you miss it. He definitely missed kaajak in that round. The man who's been defending this B site tooth and nail. It's been a thorn in their side, has gone. Avez is still standing, and sending out that utility means he can get his gun back in his hand, which is really all we want to see. The flash is solid, but he hasn't been able to take that pick. Even still, though, that wall is quickly being broken, and the safety of that plant is diminished.
There goes the Blade Storm, but the recovered weapon still in kaajak's hands. The swing through from Boaster, but the paranoia landed just in time. Avez, he's constantly been the one to stop them in their tracks on this B site. Hunter's Fury put through, dealing with the res. kaajak falls. Another connection seemed close, but crashies just about dodges it. They know he's here, but he's got the info to play with as well as time ticks away. KC trying to bait the fight with the tap, and they grab at least one. Elite for another, but he needs one more, and he'll be stopped by Chronicle. 13 to 11. They tuck it close. But the Kings